Hello, Zimbabwe and the rest of the world. Thank you for joining us on another sit-down session as we continue counting down to the Zim Business Expo 2025. We are at one of our sponsors for this year's edition in South Africa, and that's at Property Shop. And I'm joined by Gloria. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sponsoring the Zim Business Expo.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be a part of this year's exhibition.
So before we get into the full gist of what Property Shop is about, I'll ask you to introduce yourself. What's your role at Property Shop?
Okay, so my name is Gloria Mlotshwa, and I am the head of marketing for Property Shop, and I'm also a registered and certified sales agent here.
Sounds very exciting. This is the lady to see if you want to make any acquisitions in the property world. But of course, getting into the thrust of Property Shop, when was it established? What sort of properties do you deal with?
Okay, so Property Shop was established in 2009. So we have been in operation for 16 years now.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is. I think we've proven that we've got some skin in the game, and I think we know what we're doing with our professionalism. What we do is we do primarily sell residential property, but we also do commercial and industrial property. We do property management, we do evaluations, and rentals as well. And obviously the big one is sales for sure.
And so from what you specialize in, where have you seen the most demand, and what could be your prediction of why that area is leading in terms of inquiries, or if it's acquisition?
Yes, so right now the big thing is developments in Zimbabwe, and I think we're seeing a demand in that because there are some restrictions in Zimbabwe when it comes to mortgages. So developments and the development space has come to fill that gap where new home buyers and people trying to get title deeds of some sort have an option of payment plans when it comes to getting something sold off plan. So that is where Zimbabwe is currently, and we're right there in the market with them.
Right, and we're seeing quite a lot of development and construction happening, and particularly in the residential space.
Yes.
How do you see Property Shop making a contribution in that? Do you have something specific that sets you aside from all the other property companies in the country?
Okay, so as primarily, as we said, we are a real estate agency. So we sell on behalf of developers. We're not a development company. And obviously we sell on behalf of, banks and, other land banks that have projects going on. Now, what we do is that we have selected partners. And obviously, because this game has been, going back and forth and is now, at a peak, Property Shop has decided to select certain property developers that have actually produced and produced well, and actually come in at, a market value that a lot of our clients can afford. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much where we are.
It's quite exciting, and I'm happy that you've taken a collaborative stance instead of just being a real estate company, and you've decided to partner with those that are in the development space. But I'm quite keen to see how you are incorporating our diaspora population. I think we've quite substantive numbers of Zimbabweans who are living outside the country but are coming back home to maybe buy houses for themselves, or even as an investment. So what has been the uptake with our diaspora community for you?
That's a very good question. So with our, diaspora community, like you said, there are a lot of diasporans that do want a piece of home. So traditionally, Zimbabweans would, buy in the middle and low density areas, 1 acre plots. And that's not happening anymore. We're having smaller families, and in South Africa we have about 1.5 million Zimbabweans living there. So most solutions, or what people do want, is lock up and goes, and something that is off investment that they can supplement in terms of income. in South Africa or the UK. Property Shop was in the United Kingdom last year. We had such a good reception, and I will say with 2 of our developments that we launched, one with a bank and one with a private developer, 60% of those that bought in were from the diaspora.
Wow.
Yes.
And those are big numbers. I mean, 60% out of 100 means 40% are local and the other is outside of the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. So most people have bought into complexes and 1 or 2 bedroom flats, ranging between, I don't want to scare people with the United States dollars, but starting from 60,000 US dollars all the way up to 250 to 300,000 United States dollars. And it has been good in the sense that people could pay in installments. That's how most developments start. With a phase 1, you make a down payment and you make a monthly payments or quarterly payments. And the nice thing is that with us partnering with these developers, we are able to say, if for any reason you cannot pay this month, etc., we will go on your behalf to say, look, Nicole has a problem this month but is settling, so there is that flexibility.
But obviously having a clientele that's outside of the country and trying to have them to come back home, what would you say has been your biggest challenge when it comes to including those that are in the diaspora?
The biggest challenge is that we usually have to go out to meet the community, the diaspora community out there, and most people have not been home in the last 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And so if you haven't been to Zimbabwe in the last 3 years, you will come home and have the surprise of your life.
You'll be shocked. That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have developed quite a bit. I'm sure, as you see in Harare, there have been, complexes mushrooming, and also our retail and commercial spaces have been changing so much. So it's getting people to see the picture without them being here. So that's the biggest challenge that we do have.
Yeah, but also we've been speaking about this growth since we started conversing. I'm keen to hear, as Property Shop, or maybe as you, Gloria, where do you see us projecting maybe in the next 5 years? How will be the property space looking? Are we perhaps looking at an increase in terms of the worth, or does it mean like a slight decline?
Okay. Well, in the next 5, we're in 2025.
2025.
Yes.
5 years will be 2030.
2030, we will still be using the American dollars, United States dollars. So I think for anyone, whether you are in the rand economy or whether you are in the pound economy, the US dollar has always been steady.
Right.
And so your return on investment, if you are investing in an apartment, a little complex where you're going to rent out as an Airbnb or just for yourself, you are going to definitely get a 5 to 7% return on that, guaranteed for sure. So that's the outlook, and it is positive.
Yeah, but also you've spoken about having customers or clients from outside Zimbabwe, and us as Zido, we've put this event together, the Zimbabwe Business Expo, that obviously has businesses that are running outside of the country, and some even in Zimbabwe, but looking to expand their clientele outside of the country as well. Where does Property Shop come, and how important is this collaboration for you as a company?
It is so important for us, and we are excited about it because I think Zimbabweans need to really know what is happening on the ground with investment that is coming into Zimbabwe. Even though we are primarily in residential property, we have a lot of buyers that are coming in from different countries, whether it's China, Kazakhstan, Belarus, the United Kingdom, a lot of the EU. We have businesses that are investing in Zimbabwe, and I think we have a unique perspective in terms of what is being bought in our commercial spaces and in the industrial spaces, so that Zimbabweans, whether they're in mining, whether they're in the retail space or client-based services, understand the demographics of what is being invested by, you know, businesses that are coming into Zimbabwe, and then they make their decisions from there.
Now, the expo is happening on the 24th of May in Johannesburg. What can our attendees expect to get from you at your exhibition stand?
Okay, so we will be there definitely on Saturday the 24th. We have agents, and we have selected sales agents, certified ones, by the way. And we think what we can, what people can expect is to be educated, to be, you know, to literally hold your hand if you haven't been home in a while, to say step by step, this is how you enter the property market. It's not scary.
Right.
There is a space for everyone. With as little as 500 to 1,000, there is a solution for you. And there's a way to do it in a secure manner. And there's a way to do it where, you know, you can literally sit with someone and they can calculate for you how much you need to be putting aside every month to make sure you have a piece of paper and a stamp of land.
And I love that, because, you know, over the last few years we've been seeing bogus companies in the real estate sector mushrooming. So to have firms like yourselves who are saying everything is accounted for and it's transparent is really good news for our attendees. But of course, you know, just in closing, what would you like to say to everyone who will be watching this video with regards to real estate?
Well, what I would like to say is that, you know, for years and for time immemorial, land has always been, you know, the most bankable and profitable thing to invest in. And so I think everyone should have a go and a slice of it. And thank you so much to you guys for facilitating for us to be able to highlight exactly how you can do it.
And of course, you know, the Zim Business Expo wouldn't be possible without you, the sponsors who are coming to exhibit and adding value to Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe and in the diaspora. But of course, you know, this was our sit down with Property Shop. I hope you have your next stop for whenever you need anything with regards to real estate in Zimbabwe. Remember to visit all of our social media. It is at Zim Business Expo. Our website is at www.zimbusinessexpo.com. So follow us to get more details with regards to you coming in as an attendee for the Zim Business Expo, or if you wish to become a sponsor as well. Otherwise, until next time, do take care.